Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 episode. What episode is this? It's, okay, yeah. Episode 8, Love, Sweat, and Tears. So we're just going to get on into it. The first couple I want to talk is Sarper and Shekinah. So remember last week, Sarper and Shekinah met up with Shekinah's friends, and that guy and her ex Dan was there and was hounding Sarper about how he'd be better for Shekinah and everything. Just make Sarper really uncomfortable. So in this episode, they had that conversation about that. They said everything went well besides him and everything. And, Sarper, admitted, old Sarper would have, basically jumped on him. But he's, trying to mature up a little bit and be a better person and everything. He's having a hard time with it, but, he wants to be a better person. Shekinah said that she's really attracted to that, and that he's starting to hold his composure. And I have to admit, yeah, they're growing. Sarper is growing on me. He's really growing on me. So now the test now is to meet Shekinah's daughter. And when last time Sarper met one of Shekinah's family members, I think it was Shekinah's sister, it didn't go well. So they fly out to, I think it was San Jose, to meet up with Shekinah's daughter. Now, Shekinah's daughter does not know that Sarper is she knows that he's in America, but not on this trip to come see her because she's coming without really her permission, basically. So Shekinah goes and meets up with her daughter, and they go and get pedicures done and everything. And remember when we first met her daughter's actually away at boarding school and everything. So they meet up, get pedicures. They talked about how things have been going and everything. And they basically just came to an agreement that that the daughter will meet Sarper. But she said don't expect me to be liking him 100% right away. It's just give me some time and everything. And if he's important in your life, then that's important to me or whatever. And she kind of say, yeah, you two are the most two important people ever, so in my world. So we'll see how it plays out, basically. So I mean, yeah, that was basically it for them. Moving on. Next couple I want to talk, keeping it brief, Sean and Aaliyah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry. I'm struggling with this couple. I just don't know what it is. It's just that Sean is still okay. Now they apparently they have an open relationship, and and Aaliyah is a real germophobic and everything, which is fine. But they're constantly getting tested for things and everything, and Sean has been getting tested for a lot of things, and everything's been negative and stuff. And I think that Aaliyah is starting to play some games now because she wants to get the full-blown gender reversal surgery or whatever, something like that and everything. And she's trying to reassure Sean that it'll be okay and everything, but Sean's still feeling I signed up for a man, I didn't sign up for basically this and everything. So they're trying to they're a okay couple. It's just that the storyline is just a little bit, it's just a little, I don't know, and I'm trying not to offend because I don't want to offend, but I just don't get it with them. I really don't. So yeah, that's all I can really say about that. So moving on, Jessica and Juan. So we didn't see Juan, but we seen Jessica meet up with her friend, and they're having a conversation. Jessica wants her friend. Remember a couple weeks ago, her friend started crying because Juan lied to her about the cheating thing and everything, and everybody's just looking on why is this girl even why does she even care? Jessica says that she's really protective of me. That's fine. But why is she crying over about that? Like he cheated on her or something like that. Like I don't get this friend. And this friend apparently is going to be the maid of honor for the wedding, basically. So like I just don't understand why she's like crying about it and everything. Like if you have your doubts about him, but okay, you can express them and just move on and everything. It is their relationship. So like Jessica meets up with her friend, basically telling her to let it go. We talked about this, and it's just time to move forward, basically. So stop bringing it up, basically. So so she said that he better not give me another reason not to trust him. So, and that was basically that. So yeah, that was Jessica and her little friend. Next couple I want to talk is freaking Mark and Mina. Now, I feel like this vacation has just gone on for way too long. Now the problem is now we got that Mark starter Jordan like saying all kinds of stuff and everything. Mina's crying, like she just is so uncomfortable and everything. So last week when we saw Mark and Mina, they Jordan had brought up had a conversation about the prenup basically. And like Mina's just like, you think I'm coming for your money, Mark? And then storms off again and just starts crying. So in this episode, it's the continuation of that. Like, Mark goes talks to Mina and everything. Like Mina's crying, just don't want to be bothered. And thank God for like Mark's mom, basically. Mark's mom was definitely the MVP of this episode and the peacemaker. She really felt bad for Mina. She went to go have a chat with Mina. She's like, she was like, hey, sweetie, I know this is tough. Like, you feel like everybody's ganging up on you, and it's not fair to you and everything. And, we're all family. We all just looking after each other and everything. Do you want to talk to Jordan? And, she was hesitant at first. I don't want to talk to her because she just smiles in my face and then talks crap about me behind my back. But, I'll talk to Jordan. So Jordan comes over, and she's like, well, I hope you don't think I'm a snake. I do deserve an apology from that. And, okay, but, come on. Stop. At this point, they are picking on this girl. They really are picking on. And yes, Mina's attitude is a little iffy, but, they are starting to pick on her. But, Mina was the big person. She said she did apologize. That must have been lost in translation in French or whatever and everything. And then Jordan did apologize for making her feel uncomfortable, basically. So after they all apologized, everybody started getting along and everything. And guess what? Jordan is now invited back to the wedding and everything. So they finish out their little vacation, and then Mark and Mina decide to go home and everything. And Mina's like, we still got to talk about this prenup thing. And Mark was like, I thought it was fixed. And she was like, no, it's only fixed with the tension with me and your family. But we still going to have a conversation about this prenup thing. So they still got to talk about that. And Mark is just tired. He does not want to deal with this anymore. He's just like, man, when will this be over, basically? So, and then judging by the previews of next week, it looks like there's going to be an ex that Mina's going to be trying to meet. So, it just keeps getting... People are just loving I think people are really, really sabotaging, Mark and Mina's relationship. And it's kind of sickening, to be honest with you. So, and I'm starting to notice that because you got the daughter, now you got whoever this person is for next week. I don't know. I think I'm starting to I wasn't a full fan of Mina, but I'm really starting to really feel bad for her. So it's unfortunate. So yeah, that was Mark and Mina. Next couple I want to talk is freaking Stevie and Maddie. So Stevie and Maddie, they go to the gym. Now, apparently in Iran, gyms are not co-ed. It's only a boys' gym and a girls' gym. Like Maddie said, every little thing in Iran is basically illegal. If a girl bends over and stuff and everything, in a certain type of way, like that's illegal, basically. Like in the gym, and the government be thinking, basically having their minds together, basically. So they go to the gym, and then there was a personal trainer that was trying to help and trying to convert the pounds into kilos for Maddie and stuff. And like he asked Stevie, like, are you comfortable with this? And Stevie was like, well, if I was at the gym, if I didn't know you, if I didn't see a ring on your finger, I saw somebody that looked like you, I would come up to you and say, hey, you want to hang out and want to meet up and everything. So that's good. Like, that's cool in the single life. But when she said that, I was just thinking, okay. So just because if they don't have a ring on your finger, like, doesn't mean that they're single. Okay, they probably are engaged or just have a boyfriend and girlfriend. So like me personally, I'm always under the impression that, like, when I go somewhere, I have to be under the impression that everybody's taken some way, somehow. Everybody's taken, mostly. I'm not going in with the expectation of seeing somebody who is single and just randomly going up to a girl and asking her out. Because then if she says no, I'm taken, then I look like an idiot. So I ain't doing none of that. So they work out, and she asked Maddie, like, if this was the other way around, like someone did that to you, what would you say? He was like, I would say I'm married. And she's like, good answer. Now, and then they had a conversation about, like, Stevie's paintings, her nude paintings. And Maddie asked Stevie, I was like, like, when I first got here, I noticed a lot of, like, boob paintings. And he asked Stevie, like, are you, like, into that? Are you into girls or something or whatever? And she would not give him an answer. She's like, why would you ask me that? Like, it's just a thought, just a theory. She's like, I'm not even going to answer that because it's crazy for you to think that. Well, if you're not going to answer, if it ain't true, then why ain't you answering it? And because, like, and remember, at the first episode when we first met Stevie, the father asked, like, are you bringing a woman here or whatever? So it's definitely not a coincidence. So, like, I don't know why she was like playing around with that question, basically. So later after the gym, they go home, and they're having a date night and everything. And she also wants to she wants to do a nude painting of him because he's homesick. Tried to make home feel to him and everything. He was a little uncomfortable, but he compromised with some kind of pose that she painted and whatever. Then they had a conversation about the permanent residency. I guess the price for all of that is is double now, and we know that now because we got there's some stuff going on in the head office that's going on when it comes to stuff like this. So Maddie came up with this idea of wanting to move up the wedding. Now Stevie feels like she understands his concerns, but moving up the wedding, she's just unsure that Maddie will just is just using her, and she wants to do that. She wants to be reassured that he ain't going to leave because she feels like he's always giving the impression that he's homesick and just wants to go home, basically. And then and I understand her point of this, but then she also mentioned that every time he talks to his family, it draws a wedge between them. And she had the audacity to say, try not to talk to your family so much. Now, if someone told me to do that, I'd be like, you ain't going to tell me not to talk to my family. I don't care who you are. You ain't going to tell me not to talk to my family. This is really new for him. Yes, some things he says could be give you red flags and stuff. But you gotta understand, he is from a really, really conservative country, a really strict country. Our normal is illegal in his country. So she needs to really really like try to work with him, but also he also needs to work with her too. So like they decided to do this, so they had to live with their choices basically. So we'll see how all of that plays out. So that was Stevie and Maddie, and the last couple we're going to talk is the throuple. Now, before I talk about the throuple, I made a decision. Remember at the beginning of the season, I told you guys that like Matt had messaged me, Matt, Amani, and Ani, and Matt messaged me just saying thanks for following, and he told me that this is going to be a bumpy ride. I DM'd Matt this morning to ask if I could do an interview with him and Amani. He has not responded back yet, but I'm thinking about the possibility at the end of the season, if he responds to me, about doing an interview with Matt and Amani. That'll be my first interview on this channel, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if he responds. I'll keep you guys posted with that. But anyway, in this episode, Amani is still feeling like left out of this relationship. She's saying that, Ani is only like kissing Matt, having sex with Matt and everything. And they're still like not like feeling like she's not telling people about their relationship. Now they go to this like wine dispensary or whatever and everything. And they're in a car ride. They're in the Uber, taxi, whatever. And they're talking about family. And like the driver was like, so you're going to take your boyfriend and your girlfriend or whatever to your family? And she was like, yeah. And the guy was like, oh, Lord have mercy, holy rosary or something. Like, this is crazy, basically. And Ani was like, yeah, so you understand me. So after they, go through the wine thing, they have a conversation. And Amani is really harping on this, and she basically asks Ani that, do you tell people that you're in a serious relationship? And Ani said no. And that led to the saying that we've been waiting to hear since the trailer dropped. Amani gets up and leaves and starts crying and yells out, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Yeah, that's true. So Matt goes and checks on her. Amani's just crying hysterically, and I felt bad. And so Ani comes and tries to comfort her and everything, and and she tells her you need to calm down, you like the drama, and everything, you're too dramatic and everything. And they just started going back and forth with each other. Ani tried leaving the situation, and then Amani was like, no, you don't get to run away from this conversation and everything. Now Matt is just standing there. I don't know what to do. Now Matt needs to speak up a little bit more, and be the man of the situation and get control of the situation. Because he's getting what he wants. He has a wife and he has a girlfriend. So he's getting what he wants. So he needs to, at the end of the day, he still has a wife, and he needs to be on his wife's side basically, and speak up and try to handle the situation. Now, Amani and Ani had a conversation, and Amani was like, but listen, I care about you. I care about you more than I care about him. I'm in this relationship more for you than him and everything. And she lying. She had the audacity to say that, and she's lying. Because if she cared about Amani more than Matt, then she wouldn't be having sex with him behind their back, and she wouldn't be kissing him first when they first get together and everything. So she's lying, and Amani feels like she's just telling me what I want to hear, but I don't even know, should I tell Matt? Yes, you should tell Matt. Because she's playing games. Ani is now playing games. I've been having fun with this throuple, but now I'm seeing the point where that Ani is playing games. She really is, and she's lying. She is lying. So the conversations just got too heated, and they left, and it's just going to continue into next week's episode. And Lord, I am here for it. So yeah, but like I said, I DM Matt. I hope he responds back to me, and I can't wait if he says yes, I'll be doing my first interview on this channel with them. So we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. We did not see Greg and Joan in this episode. And again, I apologize about my lack of commitment with the Sean and Aaliyah situation. I'm just struggling. I'm struggling with that couple. But anyway, guys, that is the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap tonight's episode of part 2 of the Tell All the Last Resort. So until then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Bye, y'all.